Every single day you wake up is an opportunity to become someone greater than the day before. The moment your eyes open, you stand at the threshold of possibility. What you do in those first few hours of your morning sets the tone, the pace, and the mindset for everything that follows. That is why the morning is not just a beginning, it's your foundation. Win the morning, and you win the day. Let that idea sink in. Let it take hold of your thinking, because this is not just a phrase, it's a way of life. People often wonder why success seems to favor certain individuals. It's not luck, it's not magic, and it's not something they're born with. It's discipline, it's structure, it's intention, and it starts the moment they get out of bed. They understand something most ignore, that the mind is at its most powerful early in the day, unclouded by noise, distractions, and doubt. Those who truly achieve don't leave their mornings to chance. They wake up with purpose. They wake up before the world has a chance to impose its agenda on them. They don't check their phones first thing. They check their goals, their mindset, their intention. What you do in your morning either fuels you or drains you. Imagine starting your day with hesitation, with snooze buttons, with social media scrolling, with last-minute scrambling. You are handing over your power before the day even begins. On the other hand, imagine rising before the sun, grounding yourself in silence, moving your body, feeding your mind, and locking in your focus. That version of you is unbeatable. That version is unstoppable. Because that version took control when most were still asleep, literally and metaphorically. Winning the morning is not about what time you wake up. It's about what you do with the time once you do. There are people who wake up at 5 a.m. and waste it, and there are others who wake at 7 a.m. and make it count. The key is intention. Do you get out of bed and own the moment? Do you use that silence to strengthen yourself? Do you set your thoughts on gratitude, on growth, on the goals ahead? Or do you let your morning slip by, reactive instead of proactive? Start seeing your mornings as sacred. Treat them like gold. That is your private time to build yourself up, to sharpen your weapon before stepping onto the battlefield of life. The emails, the meetings, the demands, they are coming. But if you meet them prepared, grounded, and clear-minded, you dominate them. If you meet them frazzled, distracted, and weak, they dominate you. Your morning is your workshop. It's the place where you build the mindset of a champion. It's where you pour into yourself before the world starts taking withdrawals. That's why the morning is not just a routine, it's a ritual. Whether it's 10 minutes or 2 hours, what matters is that you use it to align yourself with who you want to be. Read something powerful, move your body, sit in silence, speak your goals. Fuel yourself with food and thoughts that elevate you. Create momentum, because momentum is the secret weapon of the winners. When you create it early, it carries you through everything else. People talk about motivation, but motivation doesn't show up on its own. It's summoned, you summon it through action. You summon it by refusing to be a victim of circumstance. When your alarm rings and you rise without delay, you send a message to your subconscious that you are in control. That message echoes throughout your day. You teach yourself that discipline outweighs comfort, and discipline, day after day, is what creates the life you dream about. Winning the morning builds self-respect. Every time you follow through on your plan, you build a stronger relationship with yourself. You stop being someone who breaks promises to their own potential. You become someone who can count on yourself. And when you trust yourself deeply, you fear nothing. You become bulletproof in a world that wants to distract, delay, and detour you. The morning is your time to armor up. There will be days when it's hard. Days when you don't feel like getting up early. When the bed feels too comfortable and the world feels too heavy. That's when it matters most. The hard mornings are the mornings that shape your character. When you get up anyway, when you grind anyway, when you push anyway, that's when you separate yourself. That's when the gap is created between you and the rest, not on the easy days, but on the ones when you'd rather quit. Those are the days that count double. You don't have to do what everyone else does. You don't have to rush into your day, overwhelmed and out of sync. You don't have to wake up anxious, already behind, already tired. You can wake up in peace, in power. You can design your morning to support the future you are building. You can set the tone with clarity, with courage, and with commitment. You have goals that deserve more than just wishful thinking. They deserve effort, they deserve presence, and that starts with how you begin your day. When you wake up and prioritize yourself, your mind, your health, your growth, you begin to transform. You begin to rise into a version of yourself that doesn't just survive the day, but conquers it. Don't underestimate the compounding power of consistent mornings. One great morning can lead to one great day. 10 great days can shift your week. A few weeks can shift your mindset. A few months can shift your identity. And an identity built on discipline, focus, and clarity is a force no one can stop. That's what winning the morning does. It builds the future, one sunrise at a time. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. You've been winning your mornings. You've been rising with purpose. You've been consistent, not perfect, but committed. Your energy is different. Your confidence is different. Your output is different. Your results are undeniable. People start to ask what changed, and all you'll say is, I started owning my mornings. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Get up a little earlier, be a little more intentional, replace chaos with calm, replace reaction with action, replace scrolling with strategy, and soon you'll feel it, the shift, the rising of your own potential. The feeling that you're no longer behind life, but ahead of it. There's something powerful about greeting the sun before the world demands anything from you. It's a sacred kind of silence. In that space, you find yourself. In that space, you hear the voice of your purpose louder than the noise of the world. That's why the morning is a gift. It's a space to meet your greatness before the world meets your flaws, to remember your vision before others give you theirs. You can't fake preparation. You can't fake clarity. You can't fake discipline. These are earned, and they are earned in the quiet of the morning, not in the noise of the day. Win the morning, and you'll find yourself not just doing more, but being more. Being more focused, more grounded, more intentional, more aligned, and from that place every decision, every action, every word carries more power. If you're tired of chaos, start with your mornings. If you're tired of feeling lost, start with your mornings. If you're tired of starting over, start with your mornings. Build a base so strong that even when the world shakes, you stand firm. Create a rhythm so powerful that even the toughest days can't throw you off course. And it all starts with the moment you decide to take your morning back. You don't need a fancy plan. You need a consistent one. Wake up, move your body, clear your mind, set your goals, express gratitude, read something uplifting. Start small, but start strong. This is your time. The earlier, the better, not just in hours, but in intention. Begin before life begins to interrupt. Begin with yourself, for yourself. There will always be people who sleep through their potential. Don't be one of them. Choose to rise. Choose to create momentum. Choose to start your day on your terms, because every time you do, you are sending a message to the world. I'm not waiting to be chosen. I choose myself. I choose my growth. I choose my future. Your dreams are waiting for the disciplined version of you, the version who doesn't just hope, but acts, the version who doesn't just react, but leads. And leadership starts in the morning, leadership of self, leadership of your thoughts, leadership of your time. When the alarm rings tomorrow, remember this: the bed is comfortable, but your purpose is greater. The morning is quiet, but your vision speaks louder. The world is still asleep, but you are wide awake in your mission. And every step you take before the world takes its first breath is a step ahead. A step into greatness, a step into your power. Win the morning, win the day, and repeat. Let that become your rhythm. Let that become your discipline. Let that become your legacy. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. And how you begin the day is how you shape your life. So tomorrow, rise with intention, with strength, with gratitude, and with the certainty that you are in control of your day, that you are not a product of circumstance, you are the creator of your experience. That's the mindset that builds empires. That's the mindset that changes lives. It's not just about a morning routine. It's about reclaiming your power, about reminding yourself each day who you are, what you stand for, and where you are going. The morning is your reminder, your reset, your reconnection to purpose. Every time the sun rises, it offers you a silent invitation to rise with it, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. The morning does not carry judgment. It carries opportunity. It doesn't remind you of your failures. It reminds you that you're still here, and as long as you're still here, you still have the power to change, to improve, to advance. But the question is, will you take that invitation seriously? Most people drift through their mornings, and as a result, they drift through their days, through their weeks, and eventually through their lives. They wonder where the time went, where their energy disappeared to, where their enthusiasm died. But those who respect their mornings, those who defend them like a sacred ritual, are the ones who come alive. They aren't perfect, but they are prepared. They don't have all the answers, but they ask better questions at the beginning of each day. What can I create today? Who can I become today? How can I take one step closer to my purpose? And if you want to build momentum in life, you start with small victories. The very first victory is getting out of bed with intention. Not because you have to, but because you get to. Because every morning is a chance to step into your potential and live deliberately. That small win, choosing to rise, choosing discipline over comfort, that sets the tone, and the tone you set is the life you get. The world is not waiting for average. It's not waiting for hesitation. It's waiting for someone with fire in their eyes and purpose in their chest. Someone who says, I won't waste another morning in a fog. I will show up for myself first. Because when you show up for yourself in the morning, you are more equipped to show up for the rest of the world. You don't serve from an empty cup. You fill it in the morning, through movement, reflection, focus, solitude, and then you pour into others from overflow. Some people will tell you that morning routines are overhyped, unnecessary, or only for high performers. But look closer, it's not about hype, it's about harmony, it's not about being better than others. It's about being better than your past self. It's about knowing that a distracted morning leads to a distracted life, and a purposeful morning that leads to excellence, fulfillment, progress, and peace. Every day you have two choices, to react or to respond. Reacting is easy. It's what the world wants you to do. Wake up late, scroll aimlessly, chase problems all day. Responding is powerful. It's what the elite do. Wake up early, breathe deeply, plan intentionally, and move proactively. One leads to stress, the other to strength. One drains you, the other builds you. So what will you choose tomorrow? Will you stumble into the day, hoping it's a good one? Or will you create a good one through your actions, through your rituals, through your morning mastery? Because mastery doesn't begin in the spotlight. It begins in the shadows of the early morning, before anyone sees the work, before anyone applauds the discipline. If you want to transform your life, don't look first at the big goals. Look at the small habits. Look at your mornings. You can't rewrite your entire story in one day, but you can write a powerful first chapter every morning. Do that enough times and the story changes completely. Your future is not built at some grand event or moment of breakthrough. It's built brick by brick, morning by morning, through simple choices repeated with commitment. You win your future by winning your day, and you win your day by winning your morning. Think about the version of you you've always wanted to become. The focused, healthy, driven, inspired version of you. That version doesn't wake up in chaos. That version doesn't start the day with stress. That version starts early with clarity, with structure, with intention. That version doesn't let the world dictate who they are. They tell the world, through action, who they've chosen to become. And if you've lost your rhythm, if you've let your mornings go, you can take them back. Today, tonight, right now, you can decide that tomorrow will be different, that tomorrow you'll rise like you mean it, that you'll respect the first hour of your day like it holds the key to your destiny, because it does. Start small. Start with a deep breath, a glass of water, a stretch, a thought of gratitude, a sentence in your journal, a moment of silence, 5 push-ups, 1 decision, and let those small acts compound. Let them remind you that you're not powerless. Let them ground you. Let them ignite you. Let them shape the kind of person who doesn't live by default, but by design, because life doesn't just reward talent. It rewards consistency, it rewards preparation, it rewards those who honor their beginnings, the people who build strong roots so the winds of life don't knock them down. When you win the morning, you strengthen those roots. You don't fear the storm because you've built yourself in silence while others were still asleep. So rise before the world does. Rise before the problems come knocking. Rise before the noise gets loud. That time belongs to you. Own it, protect it, elevate it, and let the world wonder why you seem so grounded, so ahead, so full of momentum. Let them ask, and all you'll say is, I win the morning, and that's why I win the day. You're not just building a habit, you're building your legacy. The way you begin your day determines how you'll look back on your life, full of scattered mornings or full of sacred moments that shaped everything you became. And the choice, as always, is yours. And the beauty of it all is that no one has to see it for it to matter. No applause, no audience, no validation. Just you, rising in silence, choosing growth over comfort. That's the kind of decision that compounds quietly. It doesn't make headlines, but it changes lives, because it's in the quiet hours, before the noise begins, where the real battles are fought. The battle against doubt. The battle against fatigue. The battle against the voice that says, just stay in bed. And every time you rise anyway, you win. You win your self-respect. You win your discipline. You win momentum. We often look for motivation in loud places, videos, music, speeches. But the greatest motivation comes from progress, and progress starts when you do. That's why your morning is sacred. It's the clean slate. The chance to become, to recommit, to outgrow your excuses and step into your mission. When you use your morning well, you stop feeling behind. You stop feeling like life is happening to you, and start feeling like you are happening to life. And that's the shift the world needs more of. People who are intentional, people who are grounded, people who are not just chasing time, but shaping it. When you start your day with power, you carry that energy into every room, every conversation, every challenge. You walk taller, you speak clearer, you act with conviction. There's a reason why the most successful people, across every industry, speak so often about their mornings, because they know it's not about luck. It's about rhythm. They've built theirs from the moment they rise. They don't wait for clarity, they create it. They don't wait for motivation. They summon it through consistent morning wins. They don't negotiate with their goals. They dominate them by starting each day with purpose. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Perfection is a trap. Progress is a promise, and progress is made through small decisions that build trust in yourself. Wake up when you said you would. Do the things you said you would. That's how confidence is built. That's how a strong identity is formed, not by shouting, but by showing up for yourself relentlessly, especially when no one's watching. When you win the morning, you create mental space to think, plan, dream, and execute. You become less reactive, more creative. You stop living in stress and start living in flow. You no longer wake up chasing your life. You wake up leading it, and the ripple effect of that kind of energy is massive. Your productivity rises, your decisions improve, your patience strengthens. You lead your relationships, your work, and your goals from a place of grounded confidence. You begin to notice something powerful, that your life starts feeling more aligned. The anxiety fades, the chaos quiets, not because your life got easier, but because you got stronger, and strength starts at sunrise. Strength starts with the courage to say, today, I take the lead, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Not because it's comfortable, but because comfort never gave you the life you dream about. So if you've ever felt stuck, if you've ever felt lost, start here. Start with one morning. Don't wait until you feel ready. Readiness is a result of action, not a prerequisite. Get up even when it's hard. Move even when you're tired. Focus even when your mind resists. Every time you do, you reinforce the identity of someone who doesn't quit, someone who doesn't wait, someone who wins quietly, consistently, and completely. The morning is not just a time. It's a mindset, a statement, a decision. It says, I'm not waiting for success, I'm building it. It says, I refuse to be ruled by circumstance, I choose my direction. It says, I'm not a victim of time, I am the architect of my day. Let the world sleep in fear. Let the world snooze their greatness away. You rise, rise with fire in your belly and vision in your mind. Rise with humility for the journey and pride in your discipline. Rise knowing that when you own your morning, you own your story. Because this is not just about a routine. It's about who you become when no one is watching. It's about the silent hours that shape your loudest wins, the invisible mornings that build visible results, the small unseen actions that lead to a life few can imagine. So tomorrow and the next win the morning, not once but always. Win it when you're tired, win it when it's dark, win it when it's inconvenient. Win it until it becomes second nature, because that's the path to everything you want. Don't just hope for better days. Build them in the way you wake up, in the way you move, think, act, and grow. Win enough mornings, and you'll win more than your day. You'll win your direction, your peace, your influence, your legacy. It begins before the world stirs. It begins when your will is louder than your excuses. It begins when you decide that nothing will have power over your potential. Not fatigue, not distraction, not fear. Only discipline, only intention, only you. Because every single day that you rise with resolve, you're not just waking up. You're awakening something within. You're awakening the version of you that refuses to live small. The version of you that knows deep down you were built for more. The one who doesn't need external motivation because they are fueled by an internal mission. And that mission begins each morning the moment you open your eyes and decide to act with power, with precision, with purpose. Let others chase the day in chaos. You will create your day in calm. Let others be surprised by what the day brings. You will step into the day with strategy. While others hit snooze on their goals, you will rise and attack yours. Not with arrogance, but with assurance, because you've done the work when it was hardest, when it was quietest, when it mattered most. Morning mastery is a mindset of champions. It's not about being perfect, it's about being present, present with your vision, present with your actions, present with your purpose. And the more you train yourself to win your mornings, the more natural it becomes to win your hours, your habits, your horizon. And yes, there will be mornings when your bed feels like gravity. There will be days when fatigue whispers, just this once, sleep in. But remember, that's not just sleep talking. That's comfort trying to rob you of greatness. Don't let a few minutes of comfort cost you an entire day of power. Because when you defeat the urge to stay small in the morning, you develop the power to defeat bigger obstacles later. It's not about the alarm clock, it's about the inner clock that says, my time is now. You are the architect of your life, and the blueprint begins at dawn. What you do in the first hour sets the standard for what follows. That standard becomes your new floor, not your ceiling. It becomes the minimum you expect from yourself, and as your minimums rise, so does your life. Think of the person you admire most. Think of the life you want to build. Think of the dreams you hold in your heart. None of those will be realized through passivity. They are waiting on the other side of action, and that action, it begins at sunrise. Win the morning by preparing the night before. Win it by sleeping with intention, not exhaustion. Win it by organizing your thoughts, your tools, your space, so you can wake and move with momentum. Win it by being honest with yourself about what matters, and showing up for it before distractions arrive. Because if you wait for the world to give you clarity, you'll be waiting forever. You must generate it. You must choose it. That's what mornings are for. They are your training ground, your sanctuary, your sharpening stone. You go into that space not because you're already strong, but because you're becoming strong, and the reward, it's not just success, it's alignment, it's power, it's self-respect. It's knowing that no matter what the world throws at you later, you've already faced the hardest part, your own hesitation, and you won. You walked through fire when no one saw it. You moved when it was easier to sit. You rose when everything said you should stay down. That's what winners do. That's what leaders do. That's what legacy builders do. So tomorrow, don't just wake up, come alive, stand with purpose, breathe in your mission. Let your first hour be sacred. Move your body, nourish your mind, prime your focus, speak your goals aloud, anchor yourself in gratitude, and step forward with clarity. Because when you own your morning, you stop waiting for miracles. You become the miracle. You stop asking for permission to live fully. You start living like it's already yours. You stop being at the mercy of the world's pace. You set your own. This is not about hustle for the sake of hustle. This is about alignment. It's about becoming so disciplined in your mornings that the rest of your day follows in rhythm. You walk into your tasks already anchored. You face your challenges already charged. You pursue your vision already clear, and in time you'll look back and realize it was never one big win that changed your life. It was thousands of quiet, consistent wins. Wins that began in the early hours. Wins that no one saw but everyone felt in the way you lived. Wins that reshaped your confidence, your habits, your identity. Win the morning and you will win far more than the day. You'll win your direction. You'll win your discipline. You'll win your dignity. And that kind of win, that's the kind that changes everything. So stand tall, set your alarm, set your intention, rise early, rise strong, rise again and again until it's not a battle anymore, it's a habit. Until it's not a challenge, it's a lifestyle. Until your mornings aren't something you have to conquer, but something that fuel you, something you look forward to, something you've mastered. Because a life worth remembering is not built overnight. It's constructed piece by piece, moment by moment, day by day, beginning each morning. When you win the morning, you are not merely setting up a productive day, you are laying a brick in the foundation of your future. And one solid brick, laid with intention and care, beats 100 thrown together in chaos. There will be seasons when your motivation fades, when you're exhausted, when the path forward looks uncertain. In those moments, your morning routine becomes your anchor. It keeps you grounded. It keeps you disciplined. It becomes the thread that ties your life together when everything else is unraveling. Even when you feel weak, you show up. Even when you feel lost, you move forward. Even when your dreams feel distant, you act like they're right around the corner, because deep down you know that every small step is a seed planted in faith. And over time, the seeds grow. You become sharper, stronger, more resilient. You stop asking if you're capable and start proving that you are. You stop questioning whether you can change and start showing that you already are. You stop fantasizing about the life you want and start waking up to create it. Every single morning. It's not about waking up early for the sake of it. It's about rising with intention. If 5 a.m. makes you better, do it. If 6 a.m. works, do that. It's not the number on the clock, it's what you do with the time. You can wake up before the sun, but if you waste that sacred hour scrolling, complaining, or drifting, you've gained nothing. But if you wake with purpose, if you move, think, plan, reflect, and prepare, then you've already won, no matter what the rest of the day brings. Start each day asking, who do I want to become? Then take one deliberate action toward that identity. Want to be fit, move, want to be focused, meditate or journal, want to lead, study and strategize, want peace, breathe, stretch, pray, or sit in gratitude. Each act you take is a vote for the person you're becoming. And this is how confidence is built, not by hype, not by noise, not by outside affirmation, but by internal congruence, when your actions match your intentions, when your behavior matches your beliefs. When your mornings reflect the standard you've set for yourself, that's when you become unshakable. You're not competing with anyone else. You're not racing against a clock. You're rising for yourself, for your vision, your values, your mission. And when you do this, you naturally start to outgrow old habits, old circles, old limitations. You start to walk with a different energy, not because you're better than anyone, but because you're finally living in alignment. And don't think that winning the morning means you won't face challenges. It means you'll face them with poise. It means when life throws the unexpected at you, you won't be caught off guard, you'll be rooted. Prepared, focused, you'll respond, not react, because you've already trained for this in the quiet hours of dawn. There's something almost sacred about being awake before the world. It's a time when everything is still, when distractions are few, when your mind is clearer. It's in that stillness that you hear your truest thoughts, your highest goals, your purest ideas. Protect that time. Don't give it away casually. Don't let it be stolen by notifications, noise, or negativity. Guard it like gold, because that time is your launch pad, and the best part, you don't have to be extraordinary to start. You just have to start to become extraordinary. Even if you stumble, even if your morning isn't perfect, the act of showing up is a win. It's not about flawless execution. It's about relentless repetition. It's about becoming the person who doesn't give up just because things didn't go as planned. There will be days you fall short. That's okay. Just don't let one missed morning become a missed week, a missed month, a missed life. One mistake doesn't undo your progress. What matters is that you return, you rise again, you recommit. You remember who you are and you act like it. Because every morning the mirror asks a question, are you becoming who you said you would be? And your actions are the only honest answer. This is your time, your sacred space, your opportunity to set the tone for greatness. And the longer you walk this path, the more you realize it's not about the world seeing you succeed. It's about you knowing you gave everything you had. It's about you going to bed at night with pride, peace, and passion, knowing that today you won. And tomorrow you'll win again, so don't wait, don't wish, don't wonder, just act. Rise with heart, rise with clarity, rise with a fire that says, I was made for this. Let the world see what happens when a person commits to excellence one morning at a time. Because those early hours, that's where leaders are built, that's where champions are formed, that's where your destiny takes shape. Not in front of the world, but before it wakes. Win your morning, win your day. Win your destiny and never look back.